Alright, so continuing on. Best for. Okay, so I have one for Aura, but you have to wait for its cooldown. If I could do Aura more, that's great. But Starfinger is something I believe I could do far more faster. If I could do Starfinger much faster. Or maybe, I think what was saving me a lot of time in the last mission, it was the Starfinger. If I didn't do more I think Starfinger works best. I did more Starfingers than I did Ura. So I'm cool with that. I wish I could get more XP points. So for that, um, and since I don't think I'll be using Jonathan anytime soon, my main one is to use Jorno and Josuke. Since they both have kind of the similar abilities that Jotaro has. Jorno has Dam Dam, Muda, Muda. Or I guess in the English, when they did the original English animation, it's called Dam 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 Da. If you say that fast, that's how it sounds in the English one. They ignored the Muda, just went to Dam 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 Da. At least that's how the English version said it. They wanted it to be more cooler. So he started off saying Muda, but then it went to Dam 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 Da. Or like Woda. And then originally when Dio started to fight Jotaro back in the 90s animation one, he started at Muda, Dam 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 Da. At least that's how he said it. He didn't keep saying Muda. He just kept saying Muda, and then he went straight into Dam 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 Da. Decrease. Anyway, Dam 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 Da sounds better anyway. Because you could increase the A, and you can increase the behavior and emotion towards the A. You could make it go or you could make it be abrupt, or make it more powerful in its tone or monotone, depending on your emotion or how you feel in the moment. It would be something instantaneous or something long run, or something that's kind of like you're on crack, and it will put emphasis into the word. The same as when he threw the huge building at Jotaro. He was going crazy with the Muda, or the tank lorry, if I remember correctly. Let's see, Golden Wind Requiem. Shorten time you need to wait before using style action. Golden Wind Requiem. I'm not too familiar with Requiem's powers from the manga. I just knew Requiem was partially able to create things from other things. But his ultimate ability, I know it's pretty sick. But maybe for Requiem, I don't need more Requiem. I mean more Flash Recover, Strength Guard Defense. Okay, so his base is Stamina Decrease, and makes DH Well, here's the thing. As long as I have one guy have a DH gauge that's increased, I don't have to worry about much, because his defense is going to be up, his flash gauge is going to be up a little, his Golden Requiem is going to be up, But it's Muda isn't an attack. Wait, was Muda his first support? Oh, he always had Muda on. You didn't have to unlock it. Okay, so that's good. I guess it could deal more damage to Muda or allows you to use skill, life, spring forth. No. Okay, if I could get him to team up with me, we could execute this ability faster. So I believe this might be better. But then again, in the long run, doing more damage doing Muda might actually benefit us more than just because he's going to do Muda in a special gauge ability anyway. So I have met the conditions it required 20. All right, so he's what? This ability has already. Okay, so it's already unlocked. Okay, so flash gauge or this is 20. That goes is 20 locked. So now this is a part of me. I guess I could wait. Mister is pretty OP, man. I was doing better using Mister than I was using Josuke. Or maybe it was just my imagination. Dora. Okay, so Dora is unlocked, so you could keep using skills. Dora. You'll always have each gauge. You'll always have more heat gauge. So he's pretty good with the um, damage gauge, filling up damage gauge twice, double damage gauge fill up. Um, he has stamina. He has Dora. He has shiny diamond unlock, and he also have guard. So I think I might switch to Josuke and let Jotaro be my secondary character. But damn, Mister is pretty damn good, man. I didn't realize Mister was that good. Haven't used Narancha yet, or Rohan, or Koichi. Good too. I think Kakyoin is a little better than Mister. But then again, no. Kakyoin is not better than Mister. Now I think about it. If I can increase Mister's reload speed, he won't be better than Mister. I mean, at all. If I couldn't increase Mister's reload speed. All right. I don't really care about Speedwagon. Jonathan is good, but he used Hamon, man. One thing, what I don't like about Hamon is that Hamon, you have to be within range using Hamon. Um, at least some Hamon. and others you don't. But why I like using stands instead of Hamon is that stands are far stronger than Hamons are. Simply put, it's best to just use stand than Hamon. Stands are just better than Hamons. That's all there is to it. Unless you're talking about OP level young Joseph, like when Joseph was young, or Cars. We're talking about people like Cars that could just regenerate their health. Him and ACDC. Him, Cars, ACDC, and Wamu. Unless unless you're to their level, their energy level, you get obliterated. So someone like Cars who could just regenerate his health is kind of like cheating. I found Hamon is used. Or the speed at which the health is depleted. Trish. I haven't used Trish, I haven't used Narancha, I haven't used Rohan and Koichi. I think Old Man Joseph might be the weakest one, but I believe Trish and Narancha falls into the second weakest. And then Rohan and Koichi fall into the third weakest. Rohan, Koichi, and Speedwagon fall into the third weakest. And the strongest are Jonathan, Jotaro, Kakuin, um, Polnareff, Josuke, Giorno, Mista, and that's it. That's so far. So I'm going with Jotaro and Mista for this one. If not, if I can't use Giorno and Mista, then I guess I'll just use Josuke and no, I'll use Josuke and Mista. I'll use Josuke and Mista. That's what I'll do. Switch characters. Can I switch characters? But the thing is, why I want to pick all the people who are like, I want to pick Josuke and everything because if I look at there are many things in this game that are relevant that you don't think is important. For instance, the trust level, the amount of hearts that they have. Um, when they're in combat, it's more likely the more they trust the person that they're fighting with, the more they're synergized, be able to work better with each other in combat. So the higher the trust level goes up between both characters, the stronger the bond between the dual heat attack. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So Kakyoin is at a 2, Jonathan's at a 1, Trish is at a 1, Josuke is at a 2, old Joseph is at a 2. Um, he's creeping slowly. His trust level is higher than Josuke's one. Even though I use Josuke more, for some damn reason his trust level is just higher. Rohan is a 9, but his trust level is 0. Giorno's trust level is 9, and I believe he is the highest. Um, so basically, the game is telling me to pick Giorno or to pick either Old Man Joseph or Josuke. Old Man Joseph obviously is going to have more synergy with Jotaro because it's Old Man Joseph. But for some reason, he has more synergy with Giorno. I guess it would make sense because um, I believe Jotaro and Giorno are not too far in ages from each other. If you really think about it, um, because Josuke is further in age um, than Jotaro, because Jotaro was in his 20s when he met Josuke. But no, I'm wrong. Giorno was in his teens when he met Koichi, who's also in his teens. So Jotaro will be around the same age probably as Josuke is. But I believe they're more bonded together because it's like Dio and Jonathan. They are the opposite ends of each other. One is a Muda and one is a Aura. So kind of more linked together. I think the main reason is because I used Muda and Aura together in battle. So he's trusting Jorna more simply because I used both of them together in battle. Um, I don't know. I just like it that way to get both of them to do Muda Muda because I know what it is now. I know what it is. I had to unlock Dora with Josuke, but I didn't have to unlock Muda Muda with Giorno. I think Muda Muda was already unlocked for Giorno. I could be wrong. It's almost like trust level. All right, so it's Giorno then. It's Giorno and Josuke.
Cheers. なんじゃ。さあ入ってくれ。俺は超一流品しか扱わない。
ここはオプションモードだ。
リモールとイエス。
オプションモード設定をするとオプションモードはすごく大切なんだよ。
戦闘潮流。
1938年、ジョナサンの孫ジョセフは祖父の代からの宿命に導かれて柱の男と遭遇した。柱の男たちは謎の宝石エイジャの石石を求めていた。彼らが石石を手に入れればこの世界は蹂躙されてしまうだろう。強大な敵に対抗するため彼はセペリの孫シーザーと一緒に魔文の達人リサリサの下で本格的な修行を開始した。
今度は島か。波の音が聞こえるが、ここは エアサプレーな塔か。
じじい、知ってる場所なのか？
うん、50年前わしが波紋の修行をした場所じゃ。懐かしい。久しぶりに波紋の呼吸をしてみたりして。
じゃあ案内できるんだな。
もちろんじゃ。と言いたいところだが、何せ50年前じゃからな、ちょっと記憶が曖昧での。
やれやれ。
お、あれは。
どうしたジョジョ、もうバテたのか？いや、そこに誰かいるぜ。何？
おお、あそこにおるのは間違いない。我が友シーザー・テペリ。
は
なんじゃこの汗臭そうなガキは。
なんだこの薄汚ねえジジイは。
お、わしかこれ。50年ぶりに見る自分の昔の顔って変な感じじゃ。
ジジイ、このとっぽい野郎が若い頃のおめえなのか？
とっぽいとは何じゃ。
何こそこそ話してやがる。お前たち何者だ？この島は私有地だぞ。
シーザー、ジョジョ。
リサリサ先生、不審者を見つけました。まさかとは思いますが、柱の男の手のものかもしれません。
あなたたち二人は死ななくてはならない。今すぐに。
これはさっき。なんという殺気に満ちた波紋。先生、一体どうしたというのです？やれやれ、早速異変が始まったみてえだな。おいシーザー、なんだかわからねえがやべえぜ。今の攻撃は本気だった。しかしリサリサ先生がなぜ。さっさと構えろ。はっ。
元気そうじゃないか。大した成長ぶりだな、ジョースター。
なぜドイツの軍人がこの島に？まさかおめえは。シュトロハイム。
ジョジョ、地獄から舞い戻ったぜ。
メキシコで木っ端みじんに爆裂死したはずのシュトロハイムが俺の目の前にいる。ドイツの医学や科学にはとんでもねえ技術が隠されていて戦争に備えているというが、それで命が助かったのか、シュトロハイム。
違うな、ジョジョ。
違うの？
俺はあのお方の力で蘇り、さらなるパワーアップを果たしたのだ。すなわち人間どころか、あらゆる存在を超えたのよ。パーフェクトシーイングシュトロハイムの誕生だ。
何を言ってるのかさっぱりわからねえ。だがリサリサとシュトロハイムがつるんでる時点で異常な事態ってことははっきりわかるぜ。
覚悟してもらうぞ、ジアジア。
仕方ねえ、シーザー戦うぞ。やむをえん。いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。俺は誇り高きツェペリ家の男だ。いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。
やれやれだ。
まさか丈太郎さん。てめえは丈介とか言ったか。一体何者だ。オープンだけ。行くぜ。行くぜ。協力しろ。これはしまった。おおできる。行くぜ。こっちだ。返しダイヤモンド。一旦おめえを直せばよ。ドラララララララドラこの俺に任せておけ。これで全然卑怯じゃねえわけだな。なかなかやるじゃねえか。行くぜ。行くっすよ。行くっす。レンジダイヤモンド。しまった。うまいぜ。これはこの俺に任せておけ。しっかりしろよおい。クソ。これレンジダイヤモンド。行くぜ。レンジダイヤモンド。しっかりしろよおい。クソ。行くぜ。ジョセフ・ジョースター。やれやれだぜ。むぐぐ。やるじゃないか、ジョジョ。
And see, that is the reason why I made Starfinger strong, and the way the reason why I wanted to make the Muda Muda Muda, not the Muda Muda, the Dora, also strong as well as the Muda Muda strong, because he was using Starfinger. My secondary character on Jotaro was using Starfinger, and I was doing the Muda, the Dora Dora. So I wanted to make those stronger more than trying to get the dual heat attack off, special move attack off. If I could make my normal attack stronger than my special attacks, they'll die before they're able to get off their special abilities by using normal attacks. So the best solution is to make your regular attacks strong, and then when they're able to do those regular attacks during the special attacks, because they're going to do the same attack, the Dora Dora and the Muda Muda and the Aura Aura during their special moves, um, it's going to hit harder regardless. So it's best to just have the regular attack strong as well as the heat gauge going up, as well as their defense pretty strong as well. So those three things: regular attack strong, increase in stamina, increase in defense, and that's it. Increase the regular attacks, increase stamina, increase defense. Because if regular attacks like well, I wouldn't call those regulars. The regular attacks is common, square, and triangle. I guess you could say if you can increase Dora their special abilities more, or Starfinger their special abilities more, as well as increase their stamina and increase their defense, you should be fine. But I might have to look back at my setup, because if the damage gauge is also increased, they do more damage. But based on the fact that I can't all the time get off my special abilities, most of the times you're trying to chase after your opponent, and during that time your gauge is going down for your special abilities to get off, so they only give you a timer to do it. So it's best to always have your strength go into your special abilities as well as your defense and your stamina, because there's no guarantees that you'll keep up your power attacks, or you'll make connection of your special power attack. I only made connection of my special power attack once, and even though I increased my heat gauge a second time, I wasn't able to connect the second time. It's my regular special attack. My regular ability attacks destroyed them. So that's something to focus on if you're going to play JoJo. Don't put all your points into the dual heat special move combo attack. Put it more into your regular specials, and put the rest into your stamina and your defense.
また会おう。リサリサ先生、大丈夫ですか？シーザー、バカ野郎！不用意に近づくと波紋を食らうぜ。先生をこのままにしておけるか。介抱しなくては。どきな。何？
私はどうしていたの？
先生、正気に戻られたのですね。おいおめえ、今何をした？
俺たちはこの聖なる遺体を探してる。この島のどこかにあることは分かってる。そいつを探して。
はあ、質問の答えになってねえぞ。
リサリサ先生。リサリサ先生を戻してくれたことに関しては礼を言おう。だがここは私有地だ。勝手に動き回ることは許さん。ジョジョ、彼らについていてくれ。俺はリサリサ先生を部屋にお連れする。
わしも手伝おう。
結構だ。どうやら敵ではないようだが不審者であることに変わりない。先生、失礼いたします。
おれじいさん、邪魔だぜ。下がってな。今波紋を感じたぞ。このじいさん波紋使いか。いや、それよりも俺はこのじいさんを知っている。いや、このじいさんの波紋を知っている。
ジョジョ、先生をお運びしたらすぐに戻ってくる。
おいじいさん、何者だ。あんたが波紋使いなのは分かった。だがあんたの波紋はまるで
じいじい、ああ言ってるぜ。説明してやりな。 またわしが言うの？おめえ以上に適任がいるか？そうじゃな。自己紹介からしようかの。わしはジョセフ・ジョースター。
にゃに
ー。こっちのとっぽいのはジョー太郎、わしの孫じゃ。わしらこの時代から半世紀未来からやってきたんじゃ。
にゃんだと。いきなり何を言い出すのかと思えば、未来から来た。頭パープルになるかおめえら。
そうじゃろうな。こんな話を聞かされたら誰だってそういうリアクションすると思うよ。じゃがこれを見れば有無を言わさず信じるようになるはずじゃ。わしらが時代を旅しているということをな。 丈太郎、亀よ。おいスピードワゴン、ちょっと来てくれんか。
何？スピードワゴン？おう、呼んだか？亀から人が出てきた。しかもこの顔はエリナおばあちゃんの昔の写真で見たことがある。ん？そのあんちゃんは
若い頃のわしじゃよ。今のわしらの状況を理解してもらうためにあんたの顔を見せたかったんじゃ。
ジョースターさんにそっくりだな。ちょいと話をしてみてえ気もするが、俺は今ジョースターさんがしっかり休めるように身の回りのお世話してて忙しいんだ。また後でな、ジョセフ。ダブルシャーク！幽霊なんかに出会うよりももっと奇怪な遭遇。ヤングスピードワゴン、そして未来から来た俺と抜かすジジイが目の前にいる。
どうかな。まあ急に理解しろと言われても無理と思うが。
いや、もういい。分かったぜ。あんたの波紋、それにスピードワゴン、とても信じられねえが信じねえわけにはいかねえ。それであんたたちなぜここに来たんだ？遺体がどうとか言ってたな。
わしらは
なんだてめえ、何してる？
はっていねえな。この島には激マブの女がいるって聞いてたからよ、会えるのを楽しみにしてたんだが。
ああ？
てめえ、その面はホルホース。ようジョータロウ、覚えていてくれて嬉しいぜ。聖なる遺体を奪い取り、俺たちの邪魔をするてめえらを消せってよ。つべこべ言ってねえでさっさと来な。 れだ。やれやれだ。
いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。
奴らを倒して手柄にするぜ。なあ、J ガエルの旦那。
まさか
オープンだけ。
てめえ
クレイジー銃は剣よりストーンフィンガー射程距離内にライトでストーンフィンガー甘いぞ。任せた。うまいぜ。
二人で行くぜ。
了解っす。
てめえ
しまった。しまった。なんだよ。じゃあこれは
てめえ
任せたぜ。うまいぜ。任せたぜ。ダンプ打ち負け任せたぜ。ダンプしまった。 任せたぜ。てめえ。二人で行くぜ。了解っす。くそ。こいつはかなおうぜ。てめえ。いいな。くそ。こいつはかなおうぜ。ジョセフ・ジョースター。俺の父親の名前っす。やれやれだぜ、クソじじい。おい、なぜ俺たちを狙う？おめえらも遺体を集めてるのか？知らねえってのは滑稽だね。あのお方がおめえを狙う理由だと？そいつは言うまでもねえことだぜ。待ちやがれ。あわよ、ジョータロウ、ジョースター。この島の美女によろしくな。会えなくって本当に残念だぜ。シュトロハイムと同じように消えやがった。ジョジョ、どうした？お前たち、やはり敵か？違うぜ、シーザー。そうじゃねえ。なんて言えばいいんだ。説明するのめんどくせえぜ。この連中は客だよ。久しぶりに会ったんでうっかり忘れてたが、俺の知り合いだ。知り合いだって？おいジョジョ、お前何かごまかそうとしてないか？
この島は面白そうな闘技場のようではあるが、
何？
隣の島だったか。エイジャの石石を持つ女がいるという島は俺一人か。カーズたちはまだ石石がこの地にあることを突き止めておらぬようだ。
てめえ、もうリサリサのことを突き止めて追ってきたのか。エシディシェ！
ほう、そうか、お前も今着いたところか。ワムーよ。
エシディシ様。おお、ノー！こいつはヤバいぜ。ワムーまで来やがった。柱の男が同時に2人。
おーノー！エシリシだけじゃなくてワムーも？
恐れながらカーズ様すでにご到着なさっています。
おお、カーズ、お前も来たか。
柱の男が一度に3人だと？こいつはやばい。冗談じゃねえ。
オーマイガー！カーズまでやってきよった！どういうことじゃ？わしの知る過去とは違っておるのか？
カーズ、石石はここではない。隣の島だ。
そのようだな。ではそこのゴミを始末してから乗り込むとしよ
カーズ様、エシリシ様、あのジョジョという男と私はローマで決闘の約束をしました。ぜひ戦いの許可を。
待て、ワム。あの男、それなりの刃文使いに成長したようだ。まずは俺が遊ぶ。
う。ならぬ。二人とも我々の目的はあくまでエイジャの石石を手に入れるということを忘れるな。奴らの処理など吸血鬼どもに任せればよい。
吸血鬼だと？ちょうどいいぜ。ここでの修行の成果を試すチャンス。吸血鬼ごときひとまとめにして倒してくれる。
あなたから感じるこの感覚は。
ああ、それは俺も同じだぜ。
そいつらを始末しろ、吸血鬼ども。
無駄無駄無駄無駄無駄。てめえ。やはりてめえ、あいつの血を引いてやがったか。
あなたはディオの父の何を知っているんですか。
一月前までは確かに半人前の破門使いどもだった。よもや吸血鬼どもの群れを数分足らずで片付けるまでに成長するとは。
にやり。
ワム、
失笑でした、カーズ様。
いいだろう、ワム。
はっ。
許す。奴らと存分に戦うがいい。
かしこまりました。
エシディシ、お前も一緒に戦え。
そこ。
ジョジョ、そしてシーザーよ、認めよう。お前たちは強者だと。
今ここでやるってんなら相手になるぜ。
いまいち髪型が決まんねえ。
やれやれだ。
いまいち髪型が決まんねえな。
のアムーに殺される資格はある。
ひよっこども、楽しませてもらうぞ。
なんか若くないっすか？
あ？何言ってやがるてめえ。
オープンだけ。
してやられたというわけか。してやられた。この程度は驚きます。
うまいぜ。
ストールフィンガー。してやられた。
マジかよ。
一気に肩を。
うまいぜ。マジか。
二人で行くぜ。
了解っす。
ぶちかますぜ。
やりにくいぜ。問題ない。食らっちまった。
一気に肩を。
まずは俺だ。
我が風のファイナルモード根血殺とどめだ。少し二人で行くぜ。
了解っす。
ぶちかますぜ。あの絵師弟子様が風の
やりにくいぜ。
まだ大丈夫だ。
うまいぜ。なんつうパワーだ。どうしちゃったんすか、丈太郎さん。
さっきからわけわかんない。
俺とワムーが二人がかりで攻めきれんとは。
そこまで。絵師弟子ワム。戦いを楽しみすぎるのはお前たちの悪い癖よ。エイジャの石石を目前にしてこれ以上の時間をかけてはおれん。 破門使いども、ここからはこのカーズが相手をしてやろう。
今度はカーズかよ。願ってもないこと。行くぞジョジョ、型をつける。
このカーズのモードで真っ二つにしてくれる。
あなたから感じるこの感覚は。
ああ、それは俺も同じだぜ。
問題ない。
てめえ。
大丈夫ですか。
くそ、我がモードは光。
暗いな。二人で行くぜ。
ええ、ここは僕が。
ぶちかます。
ひとたまりもないはず。こいつへの攻撃は
ここまでか。
もう最後。
やはりてめえ、あいつ。
あなたはディオの父の何を知っているんですか。
これほどまでに成長しよったとは。
いかん。柱の男たちと戦ったわしにはわかる。この二人ほんのわずかだが波紋の連度がまだ足りておらん。
リサリサ先生。
不穏な気配を感じてきてみれば、こんな夜中にマナー知らずの訪問者のようね。
ほうほう、これで波紋戦士どもが揃ったというわけか。
カーズ、ワムーよ、もう一暴れと行くか。
是非もなし。シーザー、ジョジョ、ここで迎え撃ちます。
はい、先生。
まずい。さっきまでは奴らも小手調べじゃった。だがもし本気の戦いとなったら、このまま 柱の男どもと総力戦になっては負ける。
やべえぜ。リサリサは平気なふりをしてるがまだ回復してねえみてえだ。今ここで乱戦になるのはやばいぜ。リサリサのことシーザーは気づいてねえのか。
待てカーズ、ここで戦って仮にお前らが勝ったとしても絶対に石石は手に入らんぞ。
なんだと。
この老人なぜ石石のことを知っている。
わしらが石石を何の策もなく放置するほどの間抜けだと思うのか。石石は特殊な金庫に隠されとってな、定時ごとにわしたちの誰かがそこへ通わねば石石は次元装置で爆破されるようになっとる。
おいぼれ、はったりはやめろ。
小さな爆破じゃが石石に傷をつけるには十分。
その通り。俺たちが死んだらボムよボム。
リサリサ、あんたはまだ異変に巻き込まれて調子が戻っていない。波紋使いの戦いにおいて呼吸の乱れは致命的。
客人、お言葉を返すようだが奴らが揃っている今こそ好機。ここで戦わなくていつ戦うというのだ。
シーザー、お前焦ってるな。何を焦っているんだ。落ち着いて考えてみろ。
焦ってなどいない。これは決着だ。石仮面のために死んだ俺のじいさんとお前の祖父の代からの因縁に決着をつける。俺は奴らをぶっ殺す。
決着だと。てめえジジイがどうしたって言うんだ。
おい待てジョセフ・ジョースター、それ以上喋るんじゃない。
くだらねえぜ。50年前の死人なんかを持ち出すなこのバカ。
なんだとジョジョ。
会ったこともねえ先祖の因縁なんか。
黙ってろ。ジョセフ・ジョースター、お前さんちっとばかし人より頭が切れると思っとるだろうが、わしからすればまだまだひよっこじゃ。
なんだとこのジジイ。
世の中にはお前の知らんことも多い。それを知る前に軽率に言葉にしては必ず後悔することになるぞ。君も冷静になりたまえ。無茶をすればどんな勝負にも勝てんぞ。
これは俺の血統の問題だ。セペリ一族の問題なのです。カーズが目の前にいるのに一族の恨みを晴らさないわけにはいかない。
君の一族を思う気持ちは尊い。じゃがな、同じように君を思うご家族や仲間のことも忘れんでやってくれ。万一のことがあっては残された者の後悔は深い。君にはそういう覚えはないかね。
だからといってこのまま引き返すわけにはいかん。
あれおかしいの。わしが聞いた話やと確か33日後にローマで戦う約束だったような、そういう風に聞いたように思うがの。 まだ6日も猶予があるのに、なぜそんなに戦いを急ぐ？やはりこの2人の成長の速さにビビってるということになるのかな？
そうよ。今の戦いで確信したね。あと6日もあれば俺とこのシーザーはお前ら3人まとめて干渉するくらい強くなってみせるぜ。
へえ。
いいだろう。くだらん挑発だが乗ってやる。我らにとって6日など瞬きにも及ばぬ。そのわずかな時でいかほどのことができるか見せてもらおうではないか。行くぞエシディシワム。
おいおいぼれ、お前も波紋使いか？俺はお前とも戦ってみたくなったぞ。
お望みとあらばな、6日後に会おう。冗談じゃない。さっさと行け。お前らの相手なんぞ二度とごめんじゃ。
楽しみにしているぞ。
ジョジョ、腕を磨きさらに強くなれ。このワムーが殺したくてたまらなくなるほどに。ちくしょう、奴ら好き勝手なこと言いやがって。だがなんとかしのげたぜ。
大丈夫かリサリサ？
ええ。ところであなたは誰なの？
わしか？そうじゃな。ま、詳しい話は中でしよう。丈太郎！さあ、こちらへ。シーザー、ジョジョも一緒に。
亀？一体。
やれやれだぜ。共鳴か。近くに聖なる遺体があるようだな。
重要なのは設定に対する君のすごくフェリッシュ。重要なのは設定に対する君の好みだ。君のコントローラーを握る手つきがすごくいい。
Alright, so that's where I'm ending this one. I gotta say, there's a reason why Jotaro is the main character. I guess you could say the reason why in the storyline why they show Jotaro in the story. Let's say, for instance, you pick Giorno or Josuke to fight in every single battle, and you never pick Jotaro whatsoever at all. In the story, it'll still pick Jotaro regardless, because Jotaro is the strongest of all the. I guess you could say he's the strongest of every single JoJo Bizarre Adventures character. Not because Jojo is the strongest, because his stand is the strongest, thus making Jojo the strongest because his stand is so powerful. And it's not just because his stand is so powerful, because his stand has the ability to stop time as well. So not only is his stand super strong, super fast, his stand can also stop time, and he is able to move through time. So that's what makes him the most formidable enemy or ally, depending on who you're fighting, in all of JoJo. Most people say Giorno, but if you stop time, if you stop time against someone like Giorno, he can't do anything because time is stopped. That's why it's called stop time. You stop time. Yes, people like Diavolo can speed up time. But if you stop time and he tries to speed up time while time is being stopped, then basically he's just canceling out the stop time and bringing it back to normal. So, or at least he's trying to speed up time so time is pushed from not being stopped anymore. It's basically like walking in slow motion. It's like walking in slow motion forward while time is being stopped, because he could speed up time during a stop time. It's like walking in slow motion. He can't walk fast because he's not in fast forward mode. I mean, I guess you could say speeding up time is fast forward mode, but stop time is stopping time. It's not reversing time. It's not slowing down time. It's stopping time completely. So if he like fast forward time, he basically would probably be going in slow motion, or time will basically cancel itself out, and it will be back to where you were from the beginning. And only his stand will be able to be the relevant factor within him fighting an enemy, which will make Jotaro's stand far stronger than Diavolo's stand. And applies to the same applies to any enemy or any hero within the JoJo Bizarre Adventures manga. It had the capability to stop time, reverse time, undo time, anything that has to do with time. If you're able to stop time, let's say for like Josuke, if you're able to stop time before someone like Josuke even hits you, and you have a full 5 seconds, within 5 seconds of him moving from where he was to where Josuke is, he does basically the same thing Dio does, and he could kill you within that 5 seconds. So unless you have the ability to stop time as well, or speed up time, or reverse time, it's either one or the other. You either stop it, you're allowed to cancel out, you speed it up, or you reverse it. Either of those three, besides stop, it's like a button on you're playing on the game or something. You press the play button, you play time, which means continuing normal time. You stop time, which means you stop all time. You fast forward time, it means you're fast forwarding the game, or you're reversing the game, or reversing the recording or the video to reverse it back to where it was from the beginning. So unless you have those three abilities, unless you have those with three abilities, you won't be able to cancel out something like stopping time. But let's say, for instance, you hold down on the stop time button to stop time. If you were to hold down on the reverse time button while you're holding down on the stop time or stop the video button, all that will happen is time it will go extremely slow because the stop button is being held down all at the same time, or the fast forward button is being held down, or the stop button is being held down at the same time while the fast forward button is going forward. So he'll be running very slowly forward, or if it's in rewinding, it'll be going very slow backwards. So either way, the stop time ability is the strongest time stopping ability because let's say, for instance, someone was able to move within Jotaro's stop time or Dio stop time. Um, they still would be moving in slow motion towards Jotaro or Dio, but Jotaro and Dio would be running normally or moving normally. That's why he's the strongest Jojo character, and he's probably the best Jojo character also because he's the coolest looking one out of every Jojo Bizarre character. It's weird. It's like Araki made this character, Jotaro, to be the baddest of them all. And like he made him to be the baddest, made him to wait. Okay, so we'll make him wear a school uniform. Then we'll make him be extremely handsome. Then we'll make him be extremely physically strong. And then we'll make him be attached to the JoJo bloodline. Then we'll make him have an attitude to be a bad boy. Then we'll make him be very heroic and honorable to show that he has the samurai's will. Then we'll make him have a stand, just like every other stand uses, but we'll make his stand be able to stop time just like his enemy, Dio. So no ally or enemy can get towards him because he's able to stop time. Then we'll make his stand itself super strong so that no matter what other strong stands he come up against, his stand go up against other strong stands. Those strong stands wouldn't be able to beat his strong stand because his strong stand is faster than their strong stands. Not like the super fastest strong stand, but physically super strong, like Hulk strength strong, as well as Flash strength fast. So his stand is both strong like the Hulk and fast like the Flash. So it doesn't matter who he's fighting. His punches and his like say all his punches are as fast as lightning itself or beyond lightning, like faster than sound. Like if you try to click on the light, you'll get hit by his stance before you click on the light or before the light comes on. That's how fast his stand is, faster than sound, and equally as fast as lightning itself. And his stand strength is that of Hulk strength, or maybe it's stronger than Hulk strength because his stand was able to pick up a building, and pick up a truck, a tank. Well, not a tank. His stand was able to pick up a building, or at least punch through buildings, and move through buildings with ease, and pick up cars and trucks like it's nothing without even struggling. And when you're using a stand, you're basically using your R, which puts a strain on your body. But for Jotaro, he hardly has any strain on his body because he's that strong of a character as an individual, which has nothing to do with his stand. So I guess you could say his will and his fortitude and his character, he himself is super strong. Thus, his stand, which will be like his Hulk version stand, will be able to do things 10 times easier. Like things like picking up cars will be very easy for him. He doesn't even have to strain to pick up a car. He doesn't even have to strain to like punch through walls or to knock down buildings and stuff like that, or even strain to like to jump at incredible heights. Like say if he was standing here, he'll be able to jump over this patio right here or up to this area right up there with ease without even thinking about, oh, it's so high. Or he'll be able to jump all the way to this tower all the way up there, to the door all the way from here to that tower all the way over there without breaking a sweat because it's be super easy. But like say for instance like someone like the Hulk would be able to jump from down here to all the way up there. It would be super easy for the Hulk to do it, but he would have to put force into him smashing from the floor or pushing himself from the floor and then landing to that area. He would have to use force in order to get him from down here all the way to up there. Where Jojo, he doesn't even have to, like, Jotaro doesn't even have to do that. He just think about it and use his stand power, and he's able to get up there and land up there already without thinking too much or using too much aura power or strength. So he needs to, like, Jotaro use a little bit, just a little bit of stamina to do things that would take most people incredible amounts of feats or stamina or strength to do. Like the Hulk will have to flex his muscles and then jump from here up there, but Jotaro will simply use just a little bit of stand in order to get up there, and it wouldn't be anything whatsoever, no bigger deal at all, no big deal whatsoever. It'll be like you take a huge big breath, push yourself off of the ground. It's like doing one or two push-ups. 1, 2, 3 push-ups. Okay, now I'm up. 3 push-ups is nothing. That's what this is. Like jumping from here all the way to that tower up there is like doing 3 push-ups. You're just exerting a slight amount of energy, but not enough to even give yourself a huge breath that you did enough push-ups. It's only like so slightly amount. It doesn't even make your heart race, not even in the slightest. It just make the beat of your heart just increase about 2 more beats per every 3 push-ups. So if you 1, 2, 3, your heart just jumps like 2 beats. But those two beats aren't enough for you to have, I guess, for you to start breathing heavy. So that's what I'm saying with regards to character Jotaro. Why I like the character Jotaro, and why this character is used. He's like the poster boy for all JoJo games and JoJo anime and JoJo manga, because everything about this character is strong. He have a strong stance. He have a strong style. He has a strong physical body. He has a good looking face. Everything about this character is strong. He has a cool looking design that's original. Even when he stands and he does his own pose, because each character do their own pose when they're standing. His pose are just cool, you know. So he was made to be the cool character of JoJo Bizarre Adventures. There's little or nothing. There's like next to almost nothing about this character that's faulty. You could find fault in Zeppelin. You could find fault in Kakyoin. You could find fault in even Joseph Joestar here. You know, within his body, his clothing, you could say, oh, that's too much brown. I want something that's more stylish, something that's more cool. He looked too much like Indiana Jones. He doesn't have enough color. He doesn't have enough style. So that's why no matter who you lean towards, like say, for instance, you got just someone like Giorno. Giorno has more style than Jotaro does. But Giorno has less cool factor than Jotaro does. Giorno's cool factor lies within his style of his outlook and his powers, but not he himself, Giorno. The same for Kakyoin, same for Koichi, same for Josuke. Josuke cool factor is within how he expresses himself and his style of his hair and I guess how he fights. But his stand isn't as cool as Jotaro's stand. And maybe you could find one other fault with regards to Josuke. So what I'm saying is no matter who you pick within this game, and I'm going to end the stream soon, no matter who you pick within this game, they're always going to have less faults than Jotaro. That's why he's like the poster boy for JoJo Bizarre, because when Araki made this character, he made him to be like the best of all the other characters. And since then, he hasn't made a character that's better than Jotaro to this day. Or at least to this day, he hasn't come up with a character that's better than Jotaro. So I guess another reason why Jotaro is good is because it's like he's half English and he's half Japanese. So it's like the best of both worlds. He's both a diehard samurai type, that's honorable, and he's also a cocky American type, or North American type, Canadian type, or a South American. Basically, he's both the combination of both the eastern side countries and the western side countries. Both like say Asia, Korea, Japan, Thailand, all the honor, all the nobility, all the respect for your traditions, and then you combine those with the Western philosophies of strength, um, determination, I guess, patriotism, everything you find like Westerners, like Americans, South Americans, or even I guess you could say some Canadians as well as even some islanders that are more on the western side, Central Americans. Things that's not only family, like the family oriented slash patriotism stuff on the western side. The cocky behavior, like stand up for the family. This type of bourgeois behavior, or not even bourgeois behavior, more like um, do or die type of behavior that's on the Western cultures, less within honor, less within culture, but more within family and more within patriotism rather than honor and stuff like that. So he has both sides of the coin. And I would say, well, a lot of Westerners believe in family more than anything, and honor more than anything. But history has shown, like Japanese live and die by the sword, and honor mean more to them than family did at a certain period. Where in American culture that wasn't the case, or in Central or South American culture that wasn't the case. Yeah, but that's all I got to say about this. I'll move on to the next story. But this chapter 5 is over. Um, chapter 5 has ended, and as usual, I'll end it off saying the skills within the game. Um, X is X is jump, square is punch. When you're in a fight and you keep pressing the square button, he does more than this. He does a wada. Of course, when you press L1, side menu will pop up, and by pressing L1 and R1 at the same time, you do a special dual heat gauge attack. Now, if you just hold down L1 and press R2, you do your special ability, wula. Um, but generally, if you press square, you would do just a regular punching attack. But if you continue to press square, you do wula. Generally, holding down L1 and R2 together will make you do the wula without pressing the square. And then there's the L1 and triangle, which does the star finger. So if you hold down L1 and you press triangle, you'll do star finger. In the menus when you're not in combat, pressing triangle will take you to character change screen if you're not in combat. And then there's the cancellation of cancel out abilities, which is L2 and R2. You press L2 and R2 on your controller both at the same time. It will cancel out a power or ability or move that you were trying to do while in combat. And then circle is sidestep. Now in the menu screen here, circle is inspect. When you're not in combat, circle is inspect. But in combat, circle is sidestep. This is the way you dodge out. Like what I was doing, I was dodging from Cars' attacks. I was just pressing circle just to dodge out the way. I hardly did any blocking in that fight. I did mostly star finger and wula and dodging from out of the way. And then do so at least 2 dual heat attacks. And like I said, dual heat attacks is L1 and R1. So those are the things that you should know. You should press, if you just press and hold down on L2 and then charge into an enemy, by pressing the square button at the same time when you're holding down on L2, and you press as soon as you get near an enemy and you press square, it'll go straight into knocking them backwards, and then continue with the woulda, woulda, woulda. So L2 is charging forward. And then last but not least, lock on. Lock on's the shittiest thing in this game, but you can lock on to an enemy if they're to make your battle smoother and easier if they're not close to each other. If you're close to your enemy, if two enemies are close to each other, it will always switch and lock on to the enemy that's far away than the enemy that's standing right in front of you, just to mess with your connection towards fighting the characters in front of you. But if you're only fighting one enemy, then the lock on works perfectly. So lock on is R3. So those are the things to remember. The main one is L2, charging forward, and then square to do the normal attacks. And then after you do that, L1 and triangle to do star finger. Because the moment you press L1 and press square, L1 and square, it will do is wula wula wula, and then you press L1 and triangle, it will do star finger. So those are what you want to do all the time. You press L2 to charge into the enemies, and then you either hold down on L1 and press square, or you just press square after you charge into the enemy using L2. Or you charge into the enemy and then you press triangle. And that will make them use their power ability. Or, which is another one, you press L2, you charge into the enemies, then you hold R1 down, not R1, L1 down, and triangle, and that will make them do star finger. So that's what I've been doing the whole time when I was in front of an enemy. I charge forward, I press square, I did woulda woulda, and then directly after when they're on the ground, as soon as they got up, I held down an L1 and I pressed triangle to do star finger. But I made sure I stay out the way so that the moment they did an attack, I turned around, ran over to their side, L1 and star finger. Typically, I press L2 to charge all the way to them, and then I hold down on L1 and press triangle for star finger. Or I hold down on L1 and press square to do wula wula. Or generally, I just charge into them, hold down on L2 to charge right into them, and then press square. So those are what I do. L2 square, L2 to charge forward, square to hit, L2 to charge forward, triangle to do the star finger, or L1 and triangle to do the star finger. And when my heat gauge, I look within my meter on my two characters, it shows that they're star, that you've gained a star every time you've leveled up. Your gauge has gone up. The moment I get a star, a full star, it shows me that I have a full star while I'm in combat, and it's in the lower left-hand corner. Then I do my L1 and my R1 at the same time to do a dual heat attack. So you only do your dual heat attacks once you see at your bottom left of your screen when you're in fighting, you could do the star finger attack. And you must make sure that you're standing in front of an enemy in order to do it, because they will not charge forward when you press down on your L1 and your R1 at the same time, unless the enemy is standing directly in front of you. It will just not connect whatsoever. Like say if you press down your L1 and your R1 and you're looking in this direction, and you press down your L1 and your R1, the activity of the dual heat attack will commence, but it won't connect to the person because the person wasn't standing directly in front of you. So that's something important to know. All it will do, it will just activate and allow you to do more strong attacks if you don't connect. Like you will start to have like this glowing aura around you, like something straight out of Dragon Ball Z. And every time you do a physical attack, like you see the glow that's around his stand, that will continuously be around you, allowing you to do various different attacks on your own, or various different style attacks on your own, like this. if it's on for a certain period. It'll stay on for about a good 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds before it goes off. That's if it does not connect. But if it does connect, the dual heat does connect, it will go into an animation, a short little screen animation, and they'll do significantly, well, I would say significantly, but a great deal of damage against an enemy. Just knocking them off from, let's say their health is at 75%. It would knock their health down to 50% if it was all the way at 75%. That's a lot of health knocked down. That's a lot of health knocked down. So if their health is all the way at 100%, it will knock their health down to like 50%, from 100 to 50, if and only if you've maxed out your dual heat attack bar, I guess you could say, within your character sheet. So if you go into your ability tree and you select your character and you look for your dual heat attack, where is it? If you look, make the dual heat gauge fill up faster. Okay, so here it is. All right, so the dual heat, if you could make your dual heat gauge fill up faster, but you can make your flash gauge for your flashy attack, I guess you could call it your flashy attack. Your flash gauge becomes stronger, then you're able to do more damage. At least that's how it's explained within the guide of the tutorial. So more heat gauge fill up, the faster your heat gauge fill up, the faster you'll be able to do a move based on your damage, the heat gauge damage, or dual heat attack. Yeah, your dual heat attack or dual heat gauge. Well, you can't do the dual heat attack. There's the dual heat and then there's dual heat attack. Um, but the higher this is, I guess you could say, the higher or the faster you get this up, the more damage you're able to do with regards to your enemy. So it says for Jotaro, his attack is 1.5 based on his level. That's his attack. So let's say, for instance, I unlock his flash gauge. The next thing I would have to do is to unlock his flash gauge, but first I had to unlock this. So by unlocking his flash gauge, and it should say so within the tutorial, what flash gauge is. Flash gauge allows him to be able to do the dual heat attack, I guess, faster, which means the dual heat attack, which basically allows you to do higher levels of damage, will allow you to boost the damage output. At least that's what it means. But let me double check on that.
オプションモード設定をするときというのは楽しい。すごく。Very
Okay, so it's Flash Burst, which is like invincibility mode or momentarily invincibility mode. So it's not technically to boost your DHA attack. It's more like to make you more invincible towards knockdown, while at the same time knocking enemies back. So it's more like a defense thing. So I was wrong on that. Um, so basically, it's the DHA is what the more DHA you get, is the more damage, faster you'll be able to do damage. But getting more DHA is getting more, um, making sure you get to your DHA faster is not the same as doing more damage output. The only way you could do more damage output is if your character increase a character specific damage. So the DHA with your character specific damage, that's what gives you more damage output. The higher you make your damage output for your normal attacks or your special attacks, and then the DHA will boost that even further. So that's what that is. So that's what I remembered. So I had it wrong before, but yeah, that's I thought something it had to do something with the flash gauge, but now I remember completely. Um, it's the physical damage of your character, um, based on their strength capabilities. For instance, I basically said, where's no, it wasn't. I basically say for Jotaro, I wanted Starfinger to do more damage. So the more I keep giving Starfinger more damage, the harder he's going to keep hitting. So once I get to my DHA level, and I use a Starfinger attack within while my DHA is active, I do more damage. So let's say my DHA special move L1 and R1 does not connect with an enemy when I press and hold down both of them at the same time. When facing an enemy, it doesn't connect directly with them because I wasn't standing directly in front of them. I was standing like probably at a 45-degree angle. If it doesn't connect, the DH dual heat gauge will still be active even though I didn't connect with them. Which means if I use Starfinger while the DHA is still active, I'm still doing more damage even while the Starfinger deals more damage. So Starfinger here at the beginning, it says use Starfinger mode. And then this one says deal more damage using Starfinger. And this one says deal even more damage using Starfinger. So Starfinger is all the way at the max right now. So even if I don't connect with a DHA, as long as my aura is glowing up like Son Goku, even though I missed for a reason and my body's still glowing, as long as I keep using Starfinger while that is still active, even if I don't connect, I use Starfinger or I use Willa Willa while my dual heat gauge or my aura is shining around my body, I'm still doing high damage because the Starfinger is already high damage, but with addition to the the heat, the dual heat of my body, while that is active, whether I miss to connect the enemy or not, either or, I still do more damage with Willa Willa and Starfinger. And that goes for the same for any of your allies, like Joseph or anyone. Um, let's say Muda Muda. Here, this is Muda Muda. If I say Muda Muda deals more attack, then I unlock another Muda Muda to deal even more attack, and then I unlock the last Muda Muda to do more attack. Then that's 3 high damage Muda Mudas attack. So if I don't connect with a R1 or a L1 while facing an enemy directly and holding down both R1 and L1 while facing an enemy and it missed them, at least the aura that's shining around my body is still active, which means if I decide to do an aura while that thing is still shining around me, I still be able to do even more damage towards them because my dual heat is active. So that's all I wanted to say with regards to that. And I'm done with this video for today, but I just wanted to explain what that is. So I'm signing off for today.